Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cousin Discussion with Bobby and Nina. I'm Bobby,
I'm Nina.
and welcome to the show. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good morning. It is Saturday morning.
It is Saturday morning. I slept in a little bit later than normal. Normally, I'm up and busy, but it's just been raining and cold.
Yeah. Perfect weather to sleep in.
So I'm still having
But-
my coffee.
Yeah, me too.
I just started drinking it.
Oh, okay. I had to wake up at like 7 because I had an appointment this morning in Sacramento, so I had to drive. So I've been up, but I wouldn't mind taking a nap, going back to sleep.
I feel like
I don't have anything else going on.
I feel like you'll take a nap, and then tomorrow I feel like you'll be sleeping in. Like today was your early day.
Yeah. And then next weekend is a 3-day weekend. I hope you have one too.
No.
Dang.
I don't think I feel like I'm probably not off for what's next weekend?
Martin Luther King.
No.
No, you're not off.
No. I feel like I'm not off until. Is there something in. I feel like I'm not off for a while.
Really?
Because I feel like March doesn't have anything, right? I don't think February does either. I feel like I'm not off until it's like President's Day or something.
Let me see.
But
March has holidays like St. Patrick's Day and stuff, but we don't, it's not like we don't get off for that. Yeah.
I remember. I fight like my dad. Bewitched.
People say I look like my dad.
Oh, I thought People say I look like me dad. Is that an insult? Do people?
I don't know.
You look like a man.
Is that what that means?
I don't know.
Remember? Okay, so we're talking about the C'est La Vie song
Bewitched.
from Bewitched. Remember that video we watched? Of that YouTube video a long time ago?
Yes. Wait, now you're frozen. Hang on.
Oh, you're kind of... Hold on, you're stuck.
You're stuck too. Okay, so...
Am I?
No, now you're not. Okay,
Okay, it's the weather.
Who found the video? Was probably
I
me?
think you did.
I always find weird stuff on YouTube.
This was like it was an old video.
I think this was probably 2010.
Yeah.
And it was the Bewitched C'est La Vie song, but it was this group of white kid girls, and they made a music video, and it was so bad that I liked it. They're probably like, what, 9?
Yeah, they were young.
8. Like, it just made me think of like my childhood of going to school with those kinds of girls. And it was probably the weekend, and they seemed like they lived in a rich neighborhood. Because
Yeah.
they looked like they had a big house. And then there's the part of the song, because I think they recreated the Bewitched music video, and there's the part where they talk about a boy, but they didn't have a boy in their music video, so they used a doll. You remember that?
I remember the doll in the tree.
Yes, and it wasn't it was like a little plush doll of a boy or whatever, but it wasn't like a name brand doll. Like, I felt like it was like the mom probably goes to like a farmer's market or goes to some sort of craft fair and has like like they're that kind of family. Anyway. That's how did we get on? Oh, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that group?
Bewitched? I have no idea.
That didn't really
I only
go very
listen to C'est
far.
La Vie. Their
There's this.
song's called C'est La Vie, but they're Scottish or Irish.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
And
I
they step dance. Is it called step dancing? Tap. What is it?
yes, Step, Feet of
Okay.
Flames. Yeah. I remember, now you're really unlocking stuff. I remember in elementary school, we went to the computer lab, and the old school Macs, you could open up this thing where you could make them talk. Like you could type, like go into the settings of like the Mac, and then you can test the audio and type something. And I remember these girls who were really into Bewitched. They put C'est La Vie in the thing, and then it just said Qu'est-ce la vie? Because it's the robot. It's like and it's like the Qu'est la vie, and then they looked so defeated, like, oh, it didn't work. And so finally I think they typed like say, like SAY, like they figured out how to manipulate the computer, and then they finally got it to say C'est La Vie, and then they like looked at each other and looked at everyone like, we did that.
We got it.
We got it.
Oh my God.
So
just
embarrassing.
Messing around in the computer lab.
Yeah, not doing the actual like assignment that we were. I forgot what we were playing. Probably Oregon Trail.
My memories of the computer lab in elementary school, that's Harper, are just playing those games like Freddy Fish or like Pajama Sam. Do you remember that?
I remember those.
My favorite was he was like 007, but he was Spy Fox was my favorite.
You guys played that?
Mm-hmm.
I think I was already after that, but I would play those, but I'd play those at home. I would buy them because I remember the Freddy Fish one.
I don't think we even had like a computer at home yet to do that.
I had the one really slow computer.
Oh, the connection is bad.
Yeah, your thing keeps going red.
All right, so we were talking about old computer games.
Yes, and we had
computer lab.
Technical error. I think it's the rain.
Yeah.
We were talking about the computer lab. You were saying Freddy Fish.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was going to say that I remember I started playing that game because I think I was already older, so it wasn't part of the computer lab, but I got it with a haircut.
Oh,
I went to Great Clips or Supercuts or what. I think it was Great Clips.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me that game. And they're like, here, this comes with your haircut. And then I started playing that and then started to play the Spy Fox and all of that stuff.
I don't know. I really liked Spy Fox. I think I just liked how things looked. This is a mess.
Go home. So, okay, yeah, the girls in the computer lab, C'est La Vie. I just remember that whole era of the computer lab. We used to play, there's this one game, it wasn't Oregon Trail, because we did play that. There was this other one where you were a trucker. And you had to like drive this big rig but it wasn't like, it was kind of like a simulator. It was mostly, I think it was just to learn how to use a map. And it's like, okay, now you need to drive to, I don't know, San Francisco. And you start off in Texas and whatever. But I remember the computer lab was always, That was my favorite part of school.
I feel like that's a game now, like trucking simulator or something like that.
Yeah, it was. You had a map. I'll have to look it up. But I just remember you had a map and you had to figure out how to get to your destination. And I'm sure that
Hmm.
was just to teach kids how to use a map.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say something. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay, you go.
I'm sorry. It was about the computer lab again, but like one last thing, one memory that I have from going to the computer lab as a kid was the computer lab like teacher. I don't know, like IT person. I don't know what, I don't know.
In
She,
elementary school?
yeah, she was this blonde lady, had the long nails, and she was
Oh,
always eating something, and it was always popcorn in the room. And you're in, and when I would go in there, it was like right before lunch, so you're hungry,
oh God.
and the room smelled like popcorn, and I would always be hungry in that class. And then she would be eating her popcorn, and her fingers are greasy, and
No.
she's touching the
With the
computers
nails.
with the nails and the greasy fingers.
Oh,
I don't know. And you're a kid, you can't do anything or say anything. You're just
yuck.
like, even as a kid, I was like, ooh,
Oh my God.
so gross. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
You're reminding me of all these like I remember I was in the computer lab in middle school and we had those weird chairs. Like the chairs could go up and down, but they were like school chairs that can go up and down. And I remember everyone would jiggle the side thing that like the bar
Yeah.
and it would make this sound. And I remember I was genuinely adjusting my chair and I feel like the computer lab teacher, do you remember him? He was like this kind of odd.
Oh, in middle school?
Yeah. He'd always wear Hawaiian shirts.
I don't remember.
Um he I remember everyone was doing that sound and it was like a lot and I remember him being annoyed about it because it was kind of obnoxious, but I was adjusting my chair and he thought I was doing it and I holding the thing up to go down and he's like, "Stop that." And then I let it go and it made the sound and he's like, "Get out of my class." And
Of
I
course.
I, I had to go outside and I
Oh
was
my
just standing
God.
out there and I was so annoyed because
Yeah.
I felt like one, I wasn't the one doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I had to let go of it for it to like to stop. So of course it's gonna make one last sound.
Yeah.
And then just standing outside. Like what the
Yeah. What kind of punishment is that?
punishment is that? And then I'm like I was just so I just want to go home at this
Yeah.
point. I
Yeah.
remember that kind of stuff. I'm sure that's trauma.
That's a little bit of trauma, yeah. I know we've discussed this too, like just how we've realized how mean some of our teachers have been in the like growing up.
And misunderstandings, overreacting. And I remember being like, this is so stupid. And then I just stayed out there. And I'm like, I'm not going to go in and ask, like, can I come back in? I'm just going to stay out here. Like, F
Hmm.
you.
Yeah. You told me to get out.
You told me to get out. And what do I do?
Yeah.
I go back in?
Hmm.
Like, and do what?
Yeah, exactly.
I remember being I'm very patient.
Yeah.
And I just remember that time being very like, and I'm very respectful of teachers and everything. And I was just
Same.
like, fuck you, guy.
Yeah.
Like, F you. You're just a computer lab teacher. Like, you're not even one of my main teachers.
Right.
I
This
see
is
you like once a month.
yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Just remember a lot of teachers having very short fuses. Like I understand that you're dealing with young kids and stuff like that, but same. I'm so shy that some of the teachers that I've had in my past didn't even know I was in their class.
I remember that.
Like that's how quiet I was.
I've learned to kind of be like that now, and I did this thing for work where I had to kind of talk about myself. And there's a guy that I do work with and send emails to and converse with.
Yeah.
And the thing that he got asked, or the group got asked about, like, what'd you learn about Bobby? He said he learned that I worked for the company.
Jesus
And I'm
Christ.
like,
So bad.
oh, so the email threads of us talking to each other and everything is
Wow. That's
didn't
that's bad
learn.
for him to say. Like, why did you
Yes.
have to say that?
And he was the first one to respond.
Oh my
It's
God.
like
No
okay,
shame.
everyone, thanks for joining, whatever. And it was, you didn't need to respond within the first 2 minutes, and you didn't need to say that.
You did it.
Like,
You could have kept all that to yourself.
yeah, it's not, oh, I learned that he's interested in this, or I learned that he does this, or whatever. It was, I learned that he worked for the company.
God. You could have responded with the same way too, like, "Oh, I didn't know you worked here either."
Yeah. But that stuff doesn't bother me. But the computer lab guy, I remember him just like, God.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it could be like a little trauma. You still remember it.
And that was buried. We got here from St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, exactly.
But you just reminded me of that.
Anyway, if anyone else has any ridiculous stories that they've had, in elementary or middle school or high school or college, whatever, chime in and email us.
It's a vent.
I'd like to hear some.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people, I mean, I just remember being at school, and I remember there were certain teachers that I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked most of them. Even the ones that a lot of people didn't like, I'd be like, oh, they're not that bad. I remember there being some where I'm like, that's an awful person. And some people being like, they're not that bad. Or she's nice to me, or that kind of a thing. But I'm so glad I'm done with
Having
grade school.
Yeah, exactly. That was I hated it. And yeah, there were teachers that like everyone liked and I didn't care for them.
Yes. They're like, he's so cool. He lets us do this. He lets us do that. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't care if they let you listen to music during break, or if they like, I would care if they'd just let me go home.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Well, here we are, 2023.
2023. Jesus Christ.
So in a couple months, the pandemic will have been 3 years ago.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. I still like really remember like the end of 2019 because I think that was the last time I genuinely celebrated New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
And haven't really since, but it's like there's a very big divide between the end of like 2019 versus now.
Yeah. Do you remember what you did that New Year's?
I went out in Sacramento with my friends.
I don't remember what I did.
That's as most as I remember. I did get pretty drunk.
Yeah, this year's, I feel like this is the first year of it kind of being normal, even though we've started the year off with floods. And it's not that bad where I'm at. I do see on the news that people are getting rocked.
God.
Like Capitola, Santa Cruz.
Because we have not had this kind of water or like rain and everything's, getting drenched and shifting and rock slides and all that.
Yeah.
Rock slides? Landslides?
Both?
Okay. I was just wondering if I was saying that right.
um, but I know we started the new year. Well, we started New Year's Eve kind of talking about the new year, and we were like, I don't have any plans. As the
Mm-hmm.
week progressed, I started to think, okay, I kind of do have some goals,
Yeah.
which the standard get in shape,
Mm.
um, have a routine, that's there, which
Yeah.
that's always there. Um, but I'm just thinking of, I want to clean up my wardrobe, like my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten rid of a lot of clothes, but I want to filter through them now and construct a style. I
Yeah.
used to do that before and I fell off, and now I'm ready to get back into, okay, having a aesthetic.
Yeah.
And I feel like just kind of focusing more on lifestyle.
Okay.
That's what I
Yeah.
want to do.
Do you have, because I'm thinking about this as you're saying it, like, because there isn't, like, there are places that I like to go to get clothes, but there is, like, it's all just kind of like, whenever I buy clothes, it's just kind of like happenstance, like I don't ever go out and buy clothes. It just kind of like, oh, I like that shirt. I'm at this store. I'm gonna just get it.
Yeah.
But
Or I'm
I'm never
going
like,
somewhere, I need an outfit.
yeah. Because whenever I intentionally go out and get clothes, I never like what I find. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So do you have anywhere that you like to go that it's always kind of like a guarantee that you like what you get?
We've both acknowledged that we both like Abercrombie.
Abercrombie's good, yeah.
Uh, but other than that, no, not really. And I feel like I think that, I mean, I'll buy stuff on Amazon.
Yeah.
Um, I can't do the thrifting anymore. I
Sometimes I like
haven't
to
been able to
thrift.
do that in a while.
Yeah.
I just don't have the patience.
Yeah. You have to be in a mood. You have to be in a mood to do it in a certain, like, I don't have anything else going on and I'm ready to handle this kind of mood.
Plus, the thing here is that it's not always thrifting in
Mm,
San Francisco, it's vintage.
yeah, it's
So
expensive.
yes, they'll mark that shit up.
Yeah.
Like it'll be a retro looking old school shirt, just
Yeah.
t-shirt. Someone probably used it to dye their hair and it's old.
$80.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
$200 jacket. And
Hmm.
it's like, I have some stuff that I got from Yuba City
Hmm.
that's vintage and old, and I pay like $5.
Yeah.
But
That's
here they know
the
what they're selling.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'll find some really, really cool things where you're at, but yeah, you're gonna pay a lot of money for it.
And sometimes it's stuff from Target.
Yeah, like a Massimo shirt or
Yes, and
something.
it'll be like $16. And I'm like,
Yeah,
then why don't I just go to Target and buy it new?
Sacramento's starting to get like that with their upscale sort of thrift stores.
Right.
Like I went to one and I got this Spitfire shirt. So I was like, oh, I haven't seen that brand in a long time.
Yeah.
And it was like $40.
Do they still have that at PacSun? Or is that
I have
brand
no
gone?
idea. I don't know. I haven't been into PacSun in a long time.
Speaking of nostalgia stuff, I've been seeing so much on Instagram of people seeing our like high school era in
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Hollister or whatever. But then there's some of the stuff that I see and it's like, bring me back to simpler times, and it'll say 2015.
Jesus.
And I'm like, that
That was not simpler times for me.
it wasn't even that long ago.
It wasn't. That's not an era yet.
No, and stuff like from that era is still out.
Yeah.
Like,
Didn't you say before that you're like, I still had a receipt on my table from
yes,
2015?
I still have mail
Yeah.
that I need to shred
That's not
from
that long ago.
2015. I still have stuff that I've procrastinated on from that time. So does
Yes.
it count?
That was only 8 years ago.
I know. Then you think about it, it's like, oh, I guess for some people, kids in
Yeah,
their
yeah.
is it formulative,
Oh,
whatever, like growing
sure.
up
Yeah.
years.
That makes sense.
But
I guess
I'm
we
like,
should
for
harp on it.
me,
Yeah.
but yeah, I do have some form of goals.
Okay, so clearing up your wardrobe, wanting to make it more like stylized towards what you're wanting.
Yeah, cleaning up this office, like
Yeah.
kind of getting things in order, I guess
Yeah.
is
That's a good
my
goal.
thing.
That's a good goal and not a resolution.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want a resolution for this year. I definitely am wanting to grow and just better myself however I can.
Yeah, it's not, I'm gonna start this one thing.
Yeah.
It's more of maintenance and cleanup
Mhm.
work is what I want to do.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm taking it slow.
Good. Yeah, you should cuz didn't we mention before I don't know if it was in a pod or whatever, but like if you do a drastic change, it's not going to stick.
Yeah. And I feel like that's because you haven't conditioned yourself to whatever that change is.
Exactly.
So you can change it fast, but you haven't built up the muscle of whatever that is to
Yeah.
maintain it.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of wardrobes, I was just on YouTube and like, watching whatever videos. And do you remember that minimalist YouTuber, Matt Diavella, that you have watched before?
and then I think I asked you about, or I started talking about a video, and then you knew it was the guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
haven't watched his videos in a long time because I think I was subscribed to him, but then it like his stuff was kind of annoying. But then all of a
It
sudden
was annoying.
it started to get too, I don't know. Anyway, one of his videos came up and it was a new one and how he does his wardrobe. I know this is like super extreme, but he only I liked the idea around it. I would not go this extreme though. And it's different also for women,
Hmm.
or I don't know if I can say that right. You know what I mean? But like he has 7 pairs of or t-shirts that he wears. All of it, he has 7 pairs of or like 14 pairs of underwear and socks, and it's all black. And then he has like one or two button-up shirts for like fancy occasions, like, and then all of these things like he has in an Excel sheet.
Oh my God.
Like he tracks it like that, and then whenever he needs to buy it again, like renew the link to the website is already like embedded in the Excel sheet. And I'm
Oh,
like, it's a very extreme point in intentionalizing the things that you have and wear.
yeah. If I have a PowerPoint presentation on my lifestyle,
Oh
and that's a
man.
little bit. I can see how that could benefit someone.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
just
Okay, so you think that you would go that minimal though?
No, no, no. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I was just saying that like that's an extreme length. But what I liked about it was that every piece of clothing was intentional.
Yeah.
I like having things in my life that I use all of the things
Hmm.
for a purpose.
I also, on top of that, like when everything has a home.
Hmm.
Like, I'm done using this. I know this goes right here.
Yeah. And not everything, like, knickknacks or whatever, obviously don't have a purpose, but they make you happy. But
Yes.
like you said, they have a place. I like
Yes.
that.
And you like where they live. It's not, oh,
Hmm.
I hate that that's there. It's junky or
Right.
whatever.
Yes.
Maybe I need to watch an episode of Queer Eye. Just Queer Eye my life.
Is that still going on?
I don't know.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't I feel like I only watched that first season of that. And then after that, it was just kind of, all
Yeah.
right, we get the idea.
Yeah.
But I like the intention of things like we're fixing your clothes, we're fixing your house, your
Hmm.
mindset.
Hmm.
Like you're into this one thing, well, we're gonna make you go out and do it.
Yeah.
Like I liked that whole. I want to do that.
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of that kind of stuff, now I'm just remembering. I saw this video. I'm kind of getting tired of seeing videos on Instagram that have a message and then you kind of just jump on board.
Mm.
But this one video was saying about when you say your goals to someone, you get a level of dopamine in your
Mm.
brain that makes you think that you actually did it
Hmm.
because you're talking about it. And then that also defeats you actually doing it because you already kind of got some level of payoff by saying, I'm going to do this.
Interesting. That makes sense. So you should not say it.
I think it's not saying it.
Okay. Just keeping it to yourself until you
Until
do
you
it,
do it.
and then you can talk about it.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I can kind of see that happening.
Yeah.
Because once you formulate a plan and vocalize that plan, like, I'm going to do this is how I'm going to do it, blah, 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 you do get a level of like, like, that's great. I have it.
Yeah.
And then you kind of are like, all right, well, my work here is done.
Right.
Don't do it.
I totally agree with that. Yeah. Like I've definitely I understand the level of dopamine that gets released whenever you say like, "Oh, I'm going to do that."
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't.
That's also what I want to, here I go, I'm saying it, but that's what I want to unlock this year is like
Mm.
catching myself.
Yeah.
Like, okay, why are you thinking that? How does that make you feel? And are you going to commit to that?
Yeah. We were talking about, we have meetings with ourselves,
Yes.
one-on-one meet, not like together, but honestly, like we have meetings. How do you
It's
say
like
that?
checking in.
We check in with ourselves.
Yes.
So when you and I were talking about that, we both agreed that like, yeah, we have these things that we want to do, but we need to figure out like the actions that we need to take in order to achieve that. That's the struggle that I have is, yeah, I know I want to do that thing, but I need to figure out how to implement that into my schedule every day so that it can be completed.
Like formulating a routine.
Yeah. Actually taking action towards it.
Yeah, that's what the meeting with yourself kind of does, where it's, okay, what's something that you want to do? Okay, let's sit and really think what's a way that we can get there.
Mm-hmm.
And then just having a plan.
Mm-hmm. And did you ever figure out if you want to use an actual planner or
Oh yeah.
Notion or whatever?
Yeah, that was was that yesterday? I texted you.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
like,
that
okay, so
was.
I'm thinking of planning things out. Do
Hold on
you?
one sec.
Okay.
Sorry, we had a ring at the door. I'm so sorry.
Oh no. Anyway, yeah. So I had asked you if you were going to use a regular planner, physical
Yeah.
planner,
Mm-hmm.
or how we had said we downloaded Notion.
Yeah.
For me, I said I think I don't want to use that because I want to limit my screen time, and I'm also not trying to get sucked into another program,
Yeah.
and I don't want it to hit a point where you like using Notion? Well, for $9.99 a month, you
Yeah.
can unlock.
That
I
always
don't want
happens
that.
because how do they make money? How do they make money? It only holds up to a certain amount of storage, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's something that they could do where it's, oh, you need an additional notepad or whatever. Well, for
Yeah.
$9.99 a month, you can have an unlimited. I don't want that.
I don't, my whole life is a subscription service to everything.
Yeah,
So
everything.
Notion is cool. Like I like how it looks. I like what you can do with it, but when I tried to honestly use it, I was getting really confused.
And then you have to watch a tutorial.
I don't want to do that. I don't want
Just
to
need a
watch a
notebook and a
tutorial.
pen. Somebody give
Yeah,
me a
just
notebook and a pen.
you know what I noticed too? When I was doing my class, I wanted I watched another freaking YouTube influencer who used this app called Notability on his iPad,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me want to use that. And what I noticed using a notepad on my iPad, like writing out notes on my iPad, it didn't like I it didn't like click. Like what I was writing wasn't, I don't know, for me, whenever I'm writing something down, like there's a connection there where I'm comprehending the things that I'm writing down. Whereas when I was doing it on the iPad, it was more like fun. And I wasn't like, does that make any sense? It was more fun and it wasn't like a memorization tool.
Like it's like you're playing.
Yeah.
I
It
can see
didn't help
that.
me. It didn't help me at all. And I realized that with the notes that I was writing, like I didn't even remember what the hell I was writing.
Maybe there's a level of if it's on paper, it's real,
Yeah. Like it's more tangible, I think.
tangible, and it ingrains
Mm-hmm.
more. I know it looks cool when some people are like that, when they can
Yeah.
utilize technology in that way, where it's like one person's thinking, "Ugh, I need my planner. I got to take a look at this. It's at home. I have to do it." And then the person's on their phone and they're like, oh, this, and then check, check, check. And I reordered this and I did this and I did it all
Yeah,
from my
yeah.
phone. And then it's like we're just dinosaurs. Just
Yeah. I do. Yeah, I like it. I like how it looks. I like how easy it can be to use technology. Um, there's just maybe a part of me that like definitely because I like to journal and I use a pen and a paper. So I don't know.
we're gonna play around with that idea and we'll get you
Yeah.
get back to you guys on that,
Sorry.
because I'm both ways. I invested in an iPad
Mm-hmm.
mostly so I can watch YouTube, and I just feel stupid. So I'm like,
Yeah.
this is a
Well,
tool.
what do you guys think? Like, what do you use? I would like to know.
Yes.
What do you use? What helps you? What have you figured out like works for you as far as uh tracking down like a agenda or planner or whatever?
Because the part that I get nervous about is if I'm at the store and I'm thinking about, okay, I need to do this one thing, or I want to remember this one thing, or whatever. And my planner's at home.
Yeah, exactly. You
Am
have your
I
phone.
so do I do it on the phone? Then it's like, well, then why don't you put everything on the phone?
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I'm at. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to put it on my phone to remember to go back home and then write it in the planner.
Yeah. I have that issue too. Because you always have your phone on you.
Yeah.
I do use that for like if I need to remember an appointment or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, there is the issue. Do you write your appointment in your planner or what?
Yeah. And I don't want a personal planner and then a work planner and then
Yeah, it's so
my work
much
stuff's on my
books.
phone. So anyway. I
Yeah,
got this.
we're getting stressed out
I
about
know. I
planning.
have this
Ooh,
spray.
I had the candle, but
I have the candle too.
I lit the candle because I was like, I need like calm rainwater sounds and
This was a shower
smells.
spray that I just added more oil to and then water.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. She's stuck.
Oh my god.
Okay.
The lampshade.
It gets stuck. She doesn't know how to use it yet. I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
You're really a fan.
I'm a super fan.
Where'd you find that?
I got this on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
I need to listen to Ramstein to calm down.
Yeah, and do stretches. Yes. Have you been stretching or anything?
I did start off the week stretching, and then I kind of fell off towards the end of the week, so I have to get back into it this weekend. That's another thing I'm doing is, I don't know if I said this here, if it was when we were on the phone, but it's not about getting kicked off the horse. But my thing is how I think people say it's getting back on. Mm-hmm. But my thing is that I'm focusing on is the amount of time it takes to get back on. So I'm trying to make that gap really small.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you fell off. You are going to get back on, but get back on fast.
Mm-hmm. I had a conversation with a friend. When was it? Was it last weekend? Whenever. But like, she really is on her stuff about like tracking everything and making sure everything is balanced in her life. And not that we're all, she's really good at that. But anyway, she was talking about how she's working on trying to just shut her mind off and like just do the action. 'Cause she's like, as far as maybe going to the gym or doing whatever, she's like, yeah, I don't want to wake up this early or whatever to go to the gym. So I'm working on just shutting my mind off and getting there. Or if I don't go in the morning, then, I will make time later on to go or whatever.
Commitment.
Yeah, just shutting your brain off and getting it done.
That's so interesting that you say that because I've been watching a lot of Joe Rogan. And just last night I was watching this video of him and he does this ice bath.
Yes.
Every morning. Mm-hmm. And he says it's him turning off the inner bitch. And that's exactly what that is. It's your inner bitch of like, but I don't want to do it. And and he's like, this is me shutting that voice up and being like, you get in that ice bath.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do too. Just shut it off.
Yeah, I think too much and it stops me.
And I feel like it goes back to the saying that you want to do it also gives you some level of
Mm,
satisfaction, which kind of lowers your possibility of doing it because it's like, well, I
mm.
said I was going to do it.
Yeah.
So, what'd you take away from that? Is that what you want to do too?
Yeah, just learning to shut up and do it, pretty much. It was really interesting the way she was like, the way she kind of balances out her week or her days, and like, because we had some beers that night, and she's like, I know I'm gonna, I knew that we were gonna drink, so later on I'm not gonna eat this or do this, but in the, tomorrow I'm gonna work out. So she's like, I know that I'm gonna drink, so later on I'm gonna do this to balance that out, but I'm gonna allow myself to have fun and do things, but I need to balance it out with things that I don't want to do, like work out.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
really,
it was really
that takes a
refreshing.
level of consciousness too.
Totally, yeah.
I was even thinking this week, you can do that. You need to do that with stress.
Mm,
Like, if you know you had a stressful day, you need to be aware that you were stressed and do something to counterbalance that.
mm-hmm.
Like, burn off some steam. Maybe you sat too much that day because you were working. So, you need to be aware that you need to have an amount of time to stand up.
Yeah,
Like, just that level of consciousness of doing counterbalancing
yeah,
those things, but you need to be aware that you're doing them.
yeah. Which also, like, you can only, it's hard to completely be aware of the things that you're feeling, but which also, meditation helps with that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just really being in tune with, like, you don't even know you're stressed sometimes.
Yeah.
You're like, why am I feeling like so agitated all of a sudden? Or like you don't realize it until after. But um,
There was this thing I saw about dogs, like something about, was it dogs or was it some animal where it does this one thing. I think it's like
mm,
shaking the skin or doing like whatever. Um, but that's their form of releasing built up stress after experiencing something,
mm,
which is something that we need to do just as a species.
yeah,
Like, okay, I know I've queued up this
yeah,
level of stress. know it's built in there. I know I have to go do something.
release it. Yeah,
Release it in a certain way.
yeah. I think, and also when, like you said, realizing that you've sat for too long or you're stressed, and then doing that release with like combining it with like, okay, I'm gonna take a walk because I've stood up all day, plus I'm releasing like endorphins by moving my body, or I'm gonna listen to a silly podcast so I don't have to think and I'm just
Yeah.
laughing. So it's, what do they call it? It's like, there's a term for like combining those kinds of things together. I forget. Your hands are cold.
My hands are cold. I'm drinking ice water and iced coffee. I don't know what it's called. It's like a is it a compound?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be better about doing that too.
Yeah. I'd like to, I keep saying this, but I really want to hear what other people think about like what they do to help themselves.
Yeah, help us.
Help us help you and
We're
help
all
us.
ears. Help us. God, please help us.
Need help.
So, so I have been watching Daredevil.
Okay, yes. How has that gone?
I like it. This kind of goes
Mm-hmm.
back to the okay, so two things. One thing is that I did start to watch it. I watched season 1. Punisher wasn't in it at all.
Mm-hmm.
He finally comes in on season 2, and then I
Okay.
hit a point where they've kind of somewhat closed off his piece or his interaction with the Daredevil. I think he's still going to come back because they still mention him,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to stop because I don't know, just going to sleep watching that,
It was like intense.
it's intense. It made me stay up way later than I needed to. Um, it also gets loud.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll wake up in the middle of the night to like gunshots, screaming,
Yeah.
fighting. And I'm like, this is not,
It's not a go to sleep
it's
show.
not. And on top of that, so I started to read that second Punisher book that I got.
Yeah.
So it's still violent to fall asleep, but the sleep I've been having, just going to sleep, not having any screen time, has been so good.
Oh my God, I'm jealous.
I know I said this year before, like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
reading more. So I got back into doing that, and
Mm.
I've just been
Out.
snooze town.
Good. And then you feel like rested when you wake up.
Yeah, like the
Oh.
not not waking up and feeling like, oh, I'm ready to conquer the day. It's like the
Mm.
waking up where it's like I'm so tired. Like I slept so well. Like that kind of
Oh.
a
I haven't had that in a long time.
yeah, me too. I haven't had that since I was reading that Stephen King book and
Yeah.
Goosebumps and all that. So I've been reading again.
Yeah. I always get woken up because the dogs need to go out. So I mean, I'm not complaining about that. They need to go to the bathroom, but whatever. But yeah. I think I've mentioned this too. Whatever if I have. I have a hard time going to sleep.
Yeah, it's hard to just turn it off.
Yeah.
Um, but reading has been
That's
helping
good.
have a good night's sleep.
I'm excited that you're like really into the Punisher and like you're really getting into it.
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of changed a
Hey, what do you
lot.
mean?
Well, my interests,
Mm,
I feel like I actually have a new set of interests recently, which is interesting.
exciting.
Yeah. Um yeah, so getting back to the Daredevil, I'm not sure I'm too into that character.
Yeah, you just wanted it for the Punisher.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'll end up reading his comic series. Not to talk about religion, but they really incorporate him being a Catholic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which kind of I don't know how that not that I have anything against that, but it's
Mm.
just an odd relationship with a superhero to
What is his
combine.
power?
So he's blind.
Okay.
He was blinded as a kid because he pushed some guy out of the way and got chemical
Mm,
waste in his eyes. So he used to be able to see. He was blinded, I think, when he was 9.
mm,
And then this ninja type of guru guy comes into his life and starts to help him channel his lack of vision
mm,
to heighten his other senses.
mm,
So he has super hearing, like he can really sense things to where he can tell like a guy has a gun in his pocket,
mm.
whatever.
Okay.
And then from there, he evolved into being like a crime fighter, whatever. Um, But the thing with him is that he's Catholic and he can't kill people. So he'll
Oh.
beat them up and whatever, but he won't kill them.
Why is he called Daredevil?
I think he thinks that he has the devil in him.
Oh.
Oh, and because he's from Hell's Kitchen, New York.
Oh, okay.
So they were calling him because he got involved with the crime that was there because he was trying to resolve it.
Yeah.
So the news was calling him the devil of Hell's Kitchen because they thought he was the bad guy. And then
how does... Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
Well, and then the Punisher comes in because he's kind of doing the same type of thing, fighting against crime and everything like that. But the thing with the Punisher is he kills everyone.
Yeah, he's the opposite.
Yeah. So that's their interaction.
Okay.
And so the Daredevil, at least for the Punisher part, was kind of blocking the Punisher, like, don't do that. Even though they're both trying to stop the same thing. It's, I don't like the way that you're just killing the mobsters. It's weird.
Interesting.
And it was getting kind of annoying. Because it's like you have this person, like you both want them out of New York, but you're stopping the one other guy that's trying to stop them too. It's like the Punisher will get ready to like kill someone, and then the Daredevil stops him from stopping the guy. Then the guy gets away.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. It's probably supposed to make you feel like frustrated.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But then he'll like go talk to his priest. And that's just the part that I'm just like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know that there's I mean, I don't know much about Marvel and stuff like that, but that seems to be the only superhero that's religious. No?
I think so. It's just an interesting, like he asked the Punisher, he's like, do you go to mass? Like, it seems so out of place.
Yeah.
It's like, do you
interesting. I had no idea he was Catholic.
Yeah, he's Catholic.
Interesting.
Do you say the rosary?
No, yeah. He does communion.
Yeah. It's like, it makes me, I guess the part about it is it makes me go to our like Guamanian Catholicism. Right, yeah. So it makes me kind of laugh.
Yeah,
because all I think about is like, like our songs and like just being really like Chamorro religious. And it just is the combination. It breaks the storyline for me because I just go to us.
Right.
But anyway, I'll finish it because I'm halfway through season 2 and I think there's only 3 seasons.
Okay.
But yeah, I have an interesting set of hobbies here now.
Hey, whatever makes you happy. That's great. Does Punisher like go into any other superhero stories, or is it just Daredevil?
I don't know.
Okay. They're all kind of combined in some kind of way.
They are, but I do know that when I went into that comic book shop, the guy said Punisher isn't in the Marvel universe.
Oh.
So I feel like that, I'm assuming that means like he doesn't mix with Spider-Man.
You should go talk to that guy again.
Yes. I'm going to be the person that's talking to him and not letting him help the other person that's genuinely trying to shop.
Yeah, exactly.
I've evolved into that next level of customer. And I'm checking out with the $175
yeah, exactly.
bill. But yeah, I've just been reading Punisher, watching Daredevil, listening to Rammstein, and debating if I need to get a planner.
Oh, Oh, I need to get into something.
Uh, what have you been into any shows at all?
What have I been watching? I just started watching The Bear on Hulu. It's about this like the chef. Uh I'm like I really just started it last night. I think I'm like halfway through the second episode, but it's really good. Um it was kind of stressing me out. I was watching it last night before I was going to sleep. So I'm gonna keep watching it, but it was stressing me out last night. So I switched over to Bob's Burgers and then fell asleep.
Yeah, you gotta
I
do that.
don't know what else I've been watching. Nothing new. I started watching my other friend. I started watching remember I started watching the like the original L Word because there's a new generation of the L Word out now and I caught up on that and then my friend got me into watching the original L Word so I've
Don't you
been
have the
kind of
DVD?
I think I got rid of that.
Oh, you had like the
Yeah,
box set.
I know. I think it was like the second season that I got when I was with you or something like that
Yeah.
at Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the only way I could watch it.
Yeah.
I don't think Showtime had like a streaming platform yet. It was just like on TV.
Yeah. You had to have cable.
And we didn't have those like extra channels.
That stuff's expensive.
It is expensive. It's ridiculous.
Um, L Word.
Yeah.
Shane.
You remember that
I just
name?
remember the name.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Well, think think we're all caught up then. Do you have any
Yeah.
weekend plans?
No weekend plans. My dog just got spayed, so I'm taking care of her this weekend and just relaxing at home.
You're on doggy duty.
Yeah, as you can see, she has the cone.
Um, yeah, I don't have any plans really either. Just kind of kickstarting things with the everything that we just said.
Yeah.
Kind of trying to get the momentum going.
Yeah. I think I'll definitely have another meeting with myself this weekend.
Yeah. I think we should do it maybe more often than we already do it. Like maybe it's a weekly thing.
Maybe it is a weekly thing because yeah, I think it might need to be because it's always in the past it's always been like I have so many things just going on in my head that I'm like I need to sit down and do this. Where it's like, no, maybe you just need to do it every week and check in with yourself.
Mm-hmm. And formulate a plan and then take action.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do that.
Yeah. Meetings. I'm gonna circle back.
Ew. Touch base.
Ew, with ourselves.
Hang on, we start fighting with ourselves. Like sending emails.
Sending passive aggressive emails. Yes. The amount of passive aggression in corporate emails is so ridiculous.
I can't.
It's so I don't know what the word is. It just makes me go like, ugh.
It's also like a there's a level of energy that is transmitted via that passive aggressiveness that doesn't have anywhere to go. It's like, I'm going to say this snarky thing to you embedded within something that's nice or like a backhanded compliment. And then you just have to have it.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't go anywhere.
No.
Because you can't say anything back or start a fight. And like,
yeah.
and you're physically not here to converse. So
Yeah.
that's the part that's weird.
It is weird. It's weird to have to read that and then intake that energy and then deal with it.
Mm-hmm. And it's also, you play a role as the narrator because you
Mm,
don't physically see my facial expression or hear the tone of my voice. So it's,
yeah.
you have to interpret it as being snarky or whatever.
Yeah. I
I don't
always
know.
try to read it as if it wasn't passive aggressive
Me
just to
too.
try to see, but it's hard to not.
It's hard.
Yeah. I was like, and also not, sorry to keep going, but like also not just with emails, but because I have been going into the office more. It's so funny to see like the passive aggressive signs that are just around the building, like in the bathroom or like in the little like, kitchen area, whatever.
Yeah.
Like only water club members can drink this water or like don't. It's just
I remember
ridiculous.
pre-pandemic, the urinal in the, because our bathroom is on a floor, um, outside of our suite. So
Mm,
other businesses on
mm,
our floor use it. Even they were even sending up. There's a little cafe downstairs, or it used to be. They would send people up there, and we stopped that because we had just weird people coming into our building.
sure.
But I remember the floor in front of one of the urinals was soaking wet all the time.
Yikes.
Like, finally, someone put up a sign that was like, if you can't aim to the urinal and can't do whatever, then maybe it's better that you use the toilet and sit down or
Oh
something like
my
that.
God.
And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So passive, like,
Yeah.
kind of, it was that. Like, if you're unable to hit the urinal, then it seems like you should be using the toilet and sitting down, because a lot of us have to deal with this or
Oh
whatever.
my
And it was just
God.
a sign.
Yeah. There's so many. God. Whoever typed that up was so angry.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, I understand. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I would ever be that upset to be like, I am going to my computer and I am
Yeah.
typing this mess and then I'm going to tape it up to
And
the
then they grab it
wall.
from the printer and they're like, enough is enough. And then it just has to go in, and then,
Yeah. There are in all of the bathrooms in my building, and on every stall door, there is a picture of like this like a cartoon picture of this distressed man like plunging the toilet, and then there's like water everywhere. And it says,
it's a clip
please.
art. Clip art.
Yes, exactly. And it says, please don't shove paper towels down the toilet. And I was like, who has been doing this so much that every single stall in all the floors of the building, at least in the women's restroom, has done this, that
Like,
it's such a problem?
oh, like they all clog?
Yeah. Like, who is doing this? And then the sign reads like, don't do this, because if you keep doing this, then we will have to get porta potties and no one's going to want to use porta potties. And it's like a whole paragraph
Oh my
of
God. Legal.
don't do. I'm like, Christ, at least you have something to read in the bathroom.
And I'd be the one that has to make that graphic. Like, I'm on iStock, like looking up plunger cartoon man.
Stressed out, man.
Yeah. Stressed plumber.
And what's funny is that the legs, like he has peg legs for some reason. Like it's like he's standing on stilts almost. Like the water has risen so high.
It's flooded.
Like there's so much going on in this little clip art.
Because it's flooded, so he's above the water so that he can plunge. He's on stilts. Oh my god.
Like whoever made that like really thought about the backstory.
Yeah. stressed-plumber.png. That's what I would. Well,
Anyway.
Speaking of flooding, the storm's supposed to be coming back in later today,
man.
so we should probably, if you have any more running around to do, which I know I do it now.
Yeah, no, I think I'm done for the day. Get out of there. Don't think about it. Go.
Don't think about it. Go. Run, don't walk. And get your stuff done. We're shutting
be safe.
our inner bitch.
Yeah, shut her up. Shut them up.
So, anyway, we hope you guys have a great... I need to eat something and use the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening. I know I said chime in a few times on this pod. So if you want to, you can chime in. You can chime in at cousindiscussionpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, or comment down below. I was laughing because I was, for those listening, I
forgot we're on YouTube. So yeah, comment down below.
Comment down below. And let us know of everything that we asked for join the conversation. Let us know what you got going on. We need to figure it out.
Join the discussion.
Well, thank you for listening, and we hope everyone has a great weekend. And until next time, bye.